November 3rd. It's Halloween.
Friday?
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Not this Friday.
Right, next Friday.
I'm going as maybe. You ready?
Yeah. Coach, I could start off a little off topic. Since SK was able to sign with the Warriors, have you talked with him yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's that like for him? What did he say?
Well, I think it was a tough summer for him with his knee injury, and people didn't realize that's why he was a free agent. So it's good to get his knee injury behind him and to get his career started. Where he ends up, we're not sure, but right now he's at Golden State. He's happy. So, we're very close. He's like a younger brother. I've never had a younger brother, so we just talk about everything, how to approach it, how to make sure he gets with an assistant coach and tries to learn the plays, the ins and outs of being around a pro locker room. And you can't trust everybody, and make sure that you realize that you got to present yourself in a professional manner, all the above. But he's excited. Nobody deserves the opportunity more than him. So I just think if he stays healthy, he's an NBA player. It's just a matter of him getting in the right situation.
Does it look like he'll start off in the D League right now?
Tough to say. I mean, it's behind the eight ball when you're coming into camp with only a few games left. I talked to him before their game the other night, and he wasn't going to play. He didn't know any of the plays yet. So I think he probably is going to have to start in the D League, and he understands that. But his goal right now is to impress the coaching staff and Steve Kerr, so they bring him back as soon as possible.
It's such a great message, though, for the players here that are left behind. Hard work and everything that pays off, If you do it, you get after it, good things happen. It's just a great role model for these kids to look at.
Yeah, well, I mean, SK is a tremendous role model for any athlete, any young person. But I think the guys were worried about him. I said, once he gets his knee healthy, he had multiple teams trying to sign him. So it was just a matter of him and his agent trying to make sure they picked the right situation. So the guys are really happy for him. I know that.
Get into this team now this week. We chatted a couple weeks ago, but are you starting to see what you like here with these guys? Are they starting to get it here? I know it's early still, but are they starting to get the message?
Well, we're going to have our first scrimmage Saturday, the 25th, with referees, and we need it. What happens, you start to beat on each other too much. And from here to the first exhibition game, you got to try to keep people healthy as much as you can, but you got a lot of practice that you have to get in, that you have to do. And that's the balancing act this time as a coach. But our attitude remains tremendous, and knock on wood, we've been able to stay somewhat healthy. And I think that's every coach's fear right now, because you have to have long practices, and you got so much stuff you have to get in that it makes you conscious of the guys and their health.
You see these guys a lot more eager, or they're getting a lot more excited knowing that this season's actually approaching.
I think for us, we don't really have a schism or a hierarchy on our team where it's obvious that certain guys aren't going to play and other guys are going to play. The thing that makes our practices great right now is all of our scholarship guys are good enough to play. So we don't have the red team dominating the black team. There's a lot of competition for playing time. So I think it makes practice better, and nobody's going up against a guy that can't guard him every day. So, and then there's always motivation. Whenever there's playing time involved, guys are motivated. That's the number one motivator, is playing time. Yeah, I think everybody knows that there's other guys in their position that are good enough. So that's always an extra drive for you as a player. So I think that's really helped our practices.
Like Coach Cal, you're going to split your teams up into teams. You're going to throw out two different A and a B team out there.
I don't think I have any comment on that.
With 7 new guys, how are they gelling?
Good, but I think it really is going to. For practice, it's been great. Our chemistry's been great. Again, we went to the Bahamas. We've been together so many times, so it's just different than it used to be. But gelling in practice is very different than gelling during the game, and being out there in a game setting. So for us, it's going to be more of being in an adverse situation in a game as a group. And it's just going to take time. Not that I think that we should lose during that period, but I think this team is not going to be what it can be, become what it can become until we get in those situations. You got to get in games together. You got to go through tough times together, and that's only going to happen through the course of the season. So as a coach, I understand that. I think these guys think they're ready to win a national championship. But, it's good to be young. Everybody's optimistic when they're young.
With so much new size, how different is it designing an offense for this group because you can play through the post a little bit more?
Oh, it's just that we're a totally different team. And I think that not just that we can play inside out, but also that our perimeter guys are all pretty equal. They're good at different things, but we have one guy that really should have the ball all the time. So we're a vastly different team than we were a year ago, really on both ends of the floor, because we don't have, we're not small on defense either. So we've had to make some changes strategically to what we're doing to try to accentuate our strengths, not just our size, but our depth. With our ball pressure and things that we can do with our guards, because we truly are going to play 7 perimeter players.
How does that change your coaching philosophy, not having a go-to guy? I mean, having a broad range of different players. I mean, does that change? Because the years
the biggest key in you talking about having a go-to guy would be having multiple guys. So instead of just having 1 or 2 guys in a situation, if you can have 2 or 3, you're in much better shape. So hopefully that bears out. The other thing is, late in the game, we have some guys that are excellent free throw shooters with the ball in their hands, whether it's Farad, Kevin Johnson, Troy, and G has really worked hard on becoming that guy as well. All 4 of those guys are going to ice the game away at the end of the game. They're going to have the ball. That, to me, that's the biggest thing, is making sure you win when you're supposed to win, and making free throws is a big part of that.
Coach, is there a new motto you're preaching this year with this team?
I'm not a big motto guy. I just try to stay alive day by day, keep my job, make sure I don't forget to do Sammy's hair in the morning. That's probably the hardest thing I do every day. But we're not a big motto. We try to get better every day. We don't talk about. Now the guys will tell you they want to win the league championship. It's kind of an understood goal with us of what our goals are. We just try to stay focused on everybody getting better, and the things it takes to win. And if we do that, then we're going to win. These guys know it. We've had guys that understand that, so we just try to work at that every day. I leave the kind of the mottos and the sayings and all that stuff up to other people. What I tell my guys is, they're going to ring the bell here soon, and all the talking goes out the window. So we just try to make sure we're ready to come out fighting when they ring the bell. And media day will be next week, and that doesn't count. It doesn't matter. So we try to build our program not around stuff that doesn't matter. Just be ready to fight when they ring the bell. And nothing but opportunity once they ring it. So just try to make sure the Bearcats are ready.
I think hold the rope is available.
I never understood that one.
Rep the seat.
I love Butch, but I've never understood that one.
Just thought I'd throw that.
Morning.
I wasn't much of a. I'm a city guy, so I wasn't a camper. So I'm not sure what hold the rope. KB's would be hold the beer.
Baltimore.
But,